We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWit, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2118. Jill and I today are talking about tips for marketing and selling mobile home lots. All week, it's been talking about mobile homes. That's one of my favorite topics. When a mobile home deal comes back into this office signed, Jill takes a look at it, talks to the seller, makes sure it's real. Very often we do a little dance because we know how much money we're going to make on these things.
Mm-hmm. I love them.
Mobile homes, philosophically, when you think about it, are in the middle. On one end, there's house flippers, and we know how trafficky and jammed up that market is. There's a lot of people, because of HGTV and a bunch of other reasons, that think that it's incredibly profitable and easy to buy a house, clean it up, and resell it for a lot more. Whether it's fact or fiction, it happens. So there's a lot of people trying to buy houses in areas. Land, on the other side of that, is the same way. For the last decade, we've really seen an uptick in the amount of mail that's being sent to vacant landowners. But nobody cares about mobile homes. They're right in the middle. They just get forgotten.
Mm-hmm. Which is great for us and great for you.
So all week, we've been talking about it. Mm-hmm. Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum and take a deep dive into land-related topics by popular requests.
Do you ever feel forgotten? Before I ask this question.
No.
Okay, good.
I don't.
Just making sure.
Do you feel forgotten?
No, just checking. No, I make sure I'm not forgotten.
How do you do that,
bad,
Jill?
or otherwise?
How do you make yourself memorable?
Thanks a lot. Well, let's just say I'm not real quiet in meetings. If I have something to say, I'm going to say it.
It depends on the social situation, but Jill and we're going to leave a mark.
Oh, yes. That was really good. Sometimes you more than me. It's really good.
This is going to air. I don't know when this is going to air, several weeks from now, but Jill and I are going to see what's left of Van Halen at the end of the week this weekend. We're going to leave a mark on that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure of it.
Yep, that's going to be good. Okay, here's the question. Michael wrote, in using geocode.io to reverse look up GPS coordinates from DataTree and plug in the site of zip codes that were either inaccurate or missing in the county I'm working in, most of the records display a high accuracy score, like greater than 0.95. So it's pretty darn close. I noticed numerous apparent errors that affected my pricing. I discovered that during the final check for reason, because many of the randomly selected parcels appeared to be overpriced. So in my DataTree export, 75% of the records had a site of zip code, but 7% of those didn't match the geocode's results. Geocode also showed a high error rate for the records for which DataTree did not provide a site of zip code, like nobody can find it. Previous comments mentioned relying on DataTree's site of zip for pricing and only using external services to fill in the gaps. I plan to test this next. Has anyone found DataTree's site of zip to be reliable?
DataTree, okay, here's the deal. This is a really good question. It's very intense, and most of you are probably saying, what the hell is this? So I'll try to dispel it piece by piece here. Jill's going to take a nap. Vacant land does not have a post office address or what this person is referring to as a situs address. It doesn't need one. You only ever get an address assigned to a piece of vacant land when the post office decides you're going to receive mail there, theoretically.
You requested it.
Yeah, it's by request.
Yeah.
So in a regular land download, data download, for any of us, for me, let's say, maybe 10 or 20 or 20% have an actual address. And those are all infill lots in general. So to get an address, an accurate address, we use a tool called geocode.io. It translates the GPS coordinates that DataTree has assigned to the location of the property to a likely situs address. It assigns a zip code to it because there's not, within that situs address, there's no zip code. Mm-hmm. Well, we base our whole analysis on whether or not a zip code, we should be sending mail to a zip code. It's smaller than a county and pricing is very accurate. What this person is saying is 75% of the records I get are accurate. There's an accuracy percentage associated with each record. And the other 25%, not so much. 7% don't match at all. And he believes that it's resulting in an overpriced mailer. This is the first time anyone has ever gone into this at this level besides me. It's very comforting to find people who have the same mental problems as you. Don't you agree?
Oh, it's a load off of my mind that there's two of you. Who is this again? Michael. All right. Thank you, Michael.
Joe, you're reading through this and I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have put this question in.
No, I understand it, but I'm not, because I have you. Here's the thing I want to say to Michael.
And then
you're getting a zip code.
Question.
Well, I want to say one thing about this that Michael needs to think about. Zip code does not account for the right side and the wrong side of the train tracks. It could be in the same zip code. So that could be some of your pricing. So you're getting down to zip code pricing, which is great. You could get down to which it's not doing here. If you really want to take it crazy, get it down to, census tract.
An APN.
That kind, APN.
Which is what we do with houses.
That kind of a thing. So that just comes to Michael. Do you want to spend a month getting your mailer out or a week getting your mailer out? How's that? Look,
in the end, the question is, these records are overpricing my mailer. This part of doing a mailer, this geocode part, is overpricing my mailer. And I'm sorry to say that's just not the case. The overpricing the mailer in the geocode scenario is not what's causing that. So I do not even look at that accuracy percentage when I download, and I still won't. What's overpricing your mailer is the deviation or the range of the size of the property. So follow me on this. In my data sort, I have at the bottom 0.5 acre properties, half acres. In the top, I have 40 acre properties. The price per acre for a half an acre infill lot is crazy high. If an infill lot sells for $30,000, very normal, then my price per acre that I'm attributing to the entire range of acres is $15,000 an acre? No way. You're going to end up with a crazy overpriced mailer.
True.
What you just proved to me is the system works because you went all the way to the end and then you started testing for reason. Would I buy it? Check it. Would I buy it? Nope. It's all overpriced. It's overpriced because the acreage range in your mailer is too wide. To solve that, you want to create a mailer in a zip code from a small acreage range. Let's say 1.25 acres to 2.5 acres. Those are very like kind acreage sizes. The active properties that are for sale and the sold properties for sale in a county or in a zip code like that are going to be very similarly priced, unless there's some strange other side of the tracks like Jill's talking about, which in my opinion, you will get through if you're pricing it at 20%.
Mm-hmm. You're right. I didn't even think about that. So, because you have to think about, the whole zip code is not all the same price per acre, regardless of the size and regardless of the location. Correct.
That's great, Jack. This is too complicated. I don't want to do it. I understand that. All you got to do is one of two things. Number one, do exactly what I say in chapters 3 and 4, which this person's doing. He's just questioning it, which is great. But if you do what I say, it'll be fine. Number 2, you can call concierge data in offers2owners.com and just have them do it for you.
True.
People hate doing mailers. I understand that. That's why we created concierge data, so you don't have to do it.
Love it.
Today's topic, tips for marketing and selling mobile home lots.
I brought up one the other day.
I have some answers too. Go ahead, Jill.
I brought up a big one the other day. People don't realize the value of these lots. There are a lot of cities, counties, parishes that are moving away from them. Some have never changed. There's a lot of healthy communities that love them and appreciate them, as do we. But there's a few areas that don't. So when you have these mobile home lots and they are, welcomed in that area, that's a very big deal. I always make sure that that's spelled out in the title, in the beginning of the description, at the top, not hidden at the bottom, that this is mobile home friendly. It's a big deal for buyers. And then it should be marketed in all of those groups. If you're doing the marketing, great, or whoever's doing it for you, if you have an agent selling them, they should be very mobile home focused, know them very well, to speak of them, and then put them in front of all the people that are looking for mobiles and mobile home lots to put their mobile or just buy a mobile home.
Mobile homes equal affordable housing.
Yeah.
You are not going to buy a piece of property, do the research even before you buy it and see if it's conducive to putting a mobile home on it or what's around it. If there are mobile homes around it, that's great. That means affordable housing. That doesn't mean that you're going to go onto a luxury market on the internet where people buy multi-million-dollar houses and advertise that property. Or you're not going to choose a mobile home expert as a a luxury house real estate agent as a listing agent, because that's not the market. It's what Jill's saying. Mm-hmm. So my tip for marketing and selling mobile homes is reach that market. Reach a person that understands that mobile homes are affordable housing, always have been, always will be. There are people that are end users with children that their dream is to live on an acre and a half in a brand new mobile home or in a nice environment with a good, reasonable school system and have just an amazing, simple life. And so that's the market. That's my tip. Reach those people. I'll tell you, they're in apartments. They're living in an apartment and hate it. I'd love to hear somebody. I'd love one person to say, I love living in this apartment.
I know one or two people and they're weird. That just love apartment. They're 50 years old and they love apartment life. I'm like, okay.
Or better than that, if you talk to anybody who lives in a mobile home in a park, and they're paying land rent, their dream is to get what I just described. Yeah. So it's not hard to market mobile homes and mobile home lots. Mm-hmm. Marketing mobile home lots is simple. Mm-hmm. Find out who the local mobile home developer is there. Mm-hmm. And there's probably maybe 3. Mm-hmm. You can do that on the county by pulling the construction permits. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. These are great. Like I said, every time, coming from land, like just doing land, and then we start rolling in lots that are mobile home friendly. Every single time I've had one, it's the first thing to sell. Yep. Very first thing to sell is because it's mobile home friendly. Like, oh, here they come. Like they smell it. And I'm really glad. Yep. So, and if you've not walked through some lately, like we've talked about a little bit and alluded to, we went to a factory tour just recently. They're getting more and more lovely. I'm arguing construction is amazing. It's not like an RV, where it's just parked. It's like very well insulated. The things that they're doing, the appliances, the amenities, it's really nice. It's hard to walk. You walk through them and going, I want to live here. Kind of thing. It's great. And you can put them in. It's just, like you said, it is affordable housing. I think it's a very smart, efficient way to provide housing.
Yeah. The next time you're driving down the road and you see a dealer.
Yeah. Walk in.
It says, with the flag out there that says open, just walk through there.
You should.
It's shocking. If you haven't done this in several years and don't know what a mobile, it's not, geez, it is, my jaw drops. Even now, after going through all these mobile homes, it's still just amazing. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful bathrooms, freestanding tubs. I can go on and on with the things they're trying to make them look like. The interior, you're standing inside and you don't know the difference. It's a house or what. And amazing floor plans.
Some of them are multiple stories. Some of them have attached garages. I can't tell the difference.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Join us next week for a bunch of new episodes. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
We are Jack and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.